And we can just keep running if we need to.
All right, let's just get there pretty much in the middle. This is a test. We're in Northern California, talking with Mr. Dave Lopez from Swords to
Plowshares.
Plowshares. Hi. We're going to edit this down a little bit, so don't worry about
Great.
that. We're just starting off. So, what's on your first? What's on your
Employer outreach and relations.
employer relationship building and engagement with employers? So, tell us a little bit about what goes on up at Swords.
So Swords to Plowshares, we've really taken an approach with employer relations and networking on offering services to employers, a dual customer approach. Our veterans are our customers and our employers are our customers. And one of the ways that we've been extremely successful with customers and getting them on board is by offering them different types of services. And so the first service is the most basic, is what we call job brokering, where we will reach out to either an established employer or a new employer and ask that they allow us to be their headhunter for their position or positions. We ask that they give us one. We love meeting with CEOs and vice presidents, but we really need to meet the hiring manager. That is the person who makes the decision for that company or organization. So we meet with the hiring manager and we ask them to send us a job description. We like to meet face to face. We want to see what their environment is about. We want to see, is there millennials working there? Is there more retired staff? Like, what's the culture, so that we don't have to ask those embarrassing questions like, who do you want? And I think me as a hiring manager, we all sort of know who we want, sort of like, but sometimes we can't say it. And so it gives us an opportunity to visit their site and see what they're about. It also gives us a chance to decipher the job description. Some of that language sometimes is like, all right, are you willing to train up? Our vets don't have 12 years experience in the civilian world. Like, let's negotiate. What is it that you really want? You know, is it the pedigree of the degree? Is it 4 years field experience? Like, what is it that you would train up on? And so the job brokering offers us the opportunity to outreach to either vets who are already in our roster, or to do specific targeted outreach to find veterans with that skill set, working with the American Job Centers and their staff to see, hey, do you have a vet that meets this criteria? And so we will bring the vet in, interview, assess, get them all ready, get their resumes. We do ask the employers what types of resumes. Do they prefer informational or functional? That's very important, so that we're basically catering to their needs. We want to know, how do they do their work. We can adapt to that. And so that's the first service we provide. The second one is what we call private hiring events. So we ask employers to have a minimum of 5 positions open, and what we'll do is we will recruit veterans to fill those 5 positions with the promise that they will be offered initial job offers that day, pending whatever background checks or whatever else needs to happen. We've probably done about 3 dozen of these over the past 2 years. They're extremely successful. We can do them on-site at our facility. We can do them on-site at their facility. Some employers do a panel interview. Some do a one interview, individual, and it's extremely successful. That's our take and our spin on job fairs, because veterans are going to walk out with a job offer that same day, and it's extremely successful. Probably the same amount of work. For 5 positions, we'll probably interview 30, maybe 35. We'll assess individuals. The way that we get individuals in is we will either on Craigslist or one of the other sites, we will post Swords to Plowshares is looking to hire this. We never name the company because we don't want these vets calling ABC company and saying, hey, I hear you're hiring. And so we will bring them in, we'll assess their skill set, and we know exactly what the employer wants. There's questions the employer will want us to ask. There's questions that we will want to know, as far as are they a right fit for HVRP? If not, are they a right fit for another program? And the third component to the services offered to these employers is what we call employer-driven curriculum training, or EDC. And so it's a new take on brokering training out. What we're seeing is that employers are willing to invest the money to develop a training program to bring staff in to their company and train them the way that they want. We have been extremely successful in that. We've been working Pacific Gas and Electric for the last 7 years. We've done this with Walmart. We have done this with Genentech. We're in the process of working with Facebook on an EDC model. And generally, we're looking at anywhere from 6 to 15 individuals, with the caveat that there has to be a job available at the end of the training. And so these have been successful. It does take a lot of work. However, employers will come back to you. Employers will refer other employers to you. We hold employer orientations once a quarter, and so we bring back employers that have benefited from each of these 3 services to speak on a panel. To new employers, talk about, whether you're a mom and pop or whether you're a Genentech or a Facebook, and every level, and like, what is the right fit for you. We've had employers in the biotech field, like Genentech, sort of get together 3 or 4 biotech companies and say, all right, how many positions do you all have, and come up with 6 or 7 positions between them, and we will hold a private hiring event. And so that has gone a long way with developing employer relationships. It sort of combines the old model of going out and telling the employer what they need. I can't remember what that's called, but it really, it's a service to the employer. It's free. It's a benefit because we're getting veterans employed within high skill, high wage opportunities with careers and not just jobs.
Good. Sounds like a way good.